Hi guys, I'm Erik Voss, and the X-Men movie franchise may at times get overlooked when Marvel Studios pumps out 3 movies and 80 trailers a year. But despite this planned merge of Fox's X-Men properties with all of Disney's Marvel properties, the studio still plans on 6 X-Men movies in 2019 and 2020, in addition to the 2 scheduled for 2018. So what is the future of the X-Men franchise? Well, if it's anything like its past, it's probably going to be very complex, with multiple actors playing the same characters. You thought the MCU timeline was confusing? This one has 3 different strikers, and I think they're all actually Mystique. So let's break down everything we know and how any of these movies might fit into the overall cinematic universe. Starting with the movies we know are coming out in 2018. First, on May 18th, we'll see the premiere of the Deadpool sequel. Josh Brolin took a break from playing Thanos in the MCU to co-star here as Cable, the gruff, time-traveling, techno-organic mutant whose origin is just too complicated to explain here or anywhere. Luckily, this channel has already done some in-depth breakdowns of Deadpool 2 trailers, and yeah, I go into Cable in those. This movie will also introduce Zazie Beetz as Domino, another mutant played by Julian Dennison, and possible setups of the X-Force, more on that later, and returns from all the old faces and dick jokes. Later this year, on November 2nd, will be the release of X-Men Dark Phoenix, and it's easy to forget that this movie is still coming out this year because we still haven't seen really any trailer or poster for it yet. Since X-Men Days of Future Past reset the X-Men timeline, basically erasing all the events of X-Men The Last Stand, mercifully, Dark Phoenix will be a fresh adaptation of Chris Claremont's Dark Phoenix saga in the Marvel Comics. So this Dark Phoenix movie will be a follow-up to 2016's X-Men Apocalypse, with most of that movie's cast returning, including Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique and Sophie Turner as Jean Grey, continuing to explore her powers. The film will be set a decade after Apocalypse in 1992, when a solar flare hits the X-Men during a rescue mission in space. This movie was written and directed by Simon Kinberg, longtime writer and producer on pretty much all of the X-Men movies. And hopefully now that he has more creative control, we'll get really the Dark Phoenix movie that we really wanted. Okay, that brings us to 2019, when we already know one of these movies is coming out, The New Mutants, which will release on February 22nd, 2019. Originally, this was planned to come out in April of this year, but the studio pushed it back. And the initial trailer that they released made this movie look super spooky. It stars another Game of Thrones actress, Maisie Williams, Charlie Heaton from Stranger Things, Anya Taylor-Joy from Split, and several other very talented young actors. They play a group of young mutants in a horrifying Shutter Island-type facility. Professor X is rumored to appear, with the antagonist being the Demon Bear, a Stephen King-like monster that feeds on negative emotion and is right behind you. False alarm, but never let your guard down. The Demon Bear is persistent. Okay, the next movie on the X-Men calendar is Gambit, with a scheduled release date of June 7th, 2019. Channing Tatum is still attached to star, and a script should be greenlit this month, but the project still seems very much up in the air. Gore Verbinski, who was the 3rd director to take on the project, recently parted ways with it earlier this year. Tatum has suggested in various interviews that it'll be an origin story set in New Orleans, and that they were inspired by Logan's success to do a page 1 rewrite with an edgier tone. Now those are the X-Men movies that are scheduled, but the next one in the development pipeline is X-Force. This will follow the team of badass mutant soldiers that appeared to join Deadpool in the last Deadpool 2 trailer. That includes Terry Crews, whom many believe is playing G.W. Bridge. It also sounds like Ryan Reynolds and Josh Brolin will return as Deadpool and Cable for this sequel. Drew Goddard is writing and directing this movie. He is awesome. He was behind the first season of Daredevil, movies like Cabin in the Woods and The Martian, and shows like Buffy and Angel. And he's scheduled to start shooting this movie in October of this year. So it's possible we could be looking at a late 2019 release date for X-Force, but I suppose the studio will make that call when they see how well Deadpool 2 does this summer. And moving on to 2020, where studio insiders have hinted at 3 X-Men properties that are only very loosely in the works. The first is a secret movie currently titled 143, written by longtime Marvel Comics creator Brian Michael Bendis, and directed by Tim Miller, who made the first Deadpool movie. This will be a solo film for Kitty Pryde. 143 could be a reference to Uncanny X-Men issue 143, which featured Pryde fighting a demon alone in the X-Mansion. Of course, Ellen Page played Kitty Pryde in the previous X-Men movies, but if this is a new story they're working on for the character, we may get a new actor playing the part. We'll see. Another rumored X-Men project that could come out in 2020 is the Doctor Doom movie. This one's being produced by Noah Hawley, who has done an amazing job with Legion on FX. Doctor Doom is an awesome villain, maybe the best from the Marvel Comics, and unfortunately he just hasn't really been done justice in any of these Fantastic Four movies that have been made. But looking at the way Hawley characterized the Shadow King in Legion, making him one of the most truly haunted daunting superhero villains I've ever seen in movies or TV, whatever Holli has in store for Doctor Doom is definitely something we'll want to see. Another secret X-Men project in the works is a Silver Surfer solo movie, with the script being written by Brian K. Vaughan, co-creator of dozens of iconic comic series like Runaways, Saga, and Y: The Last Man. Really, these are just a few of many great characters on the X-Men side of the Marvel Universe that could still be explored in a movie. Remember, Logan left us with X-23 leading the BK Kids Club or whatever that was. I'd love to see whatever Canadian hijinks they get into. And who knows, maybe there'll be another Deadpool sequel in the works where we see him like try to hook up with Mistress Death like he does in the comics. Or a future X-Men team-up movie that features Mr. Sinister as teased at the end of X-Men Apocalypse. Yes, Disney's buyout of Fox's film and TV properties does complicate this whole schedule. And maybe we do have a Marvel Phase 4 and a Fox post-2019 to look forward to, where all these Marvel characters can start appearing in movies together. But for the projects already in the pipeline, these filmmakers are gonna stick to the solo movies and sequels they've already been contracted to make. Which means before X-23 teams up with Spider-Man and Shuri from Black Panther and some crazy team-up movie in the year 2024, we're gonna see more Deadpool, X-Force, J-Law, X-Men, creepy New Mutants, and maybe Gambit, Doctor Doom, and Silver Surfer. As far as I'm concerned, this Disney deal can take its time. But I wanna know from you guys, which of these X-Men movies are you most excited for? Would you prefer any of them to get pushed back so Kevin Feige can figure out how to work them into the MCU? Comment down below to let me know your thoughts, or tweet me directly at Erik Voss and follow New Rockstars on Twitter for updates on our videos. Like this video and subscribe to New Rockstars for more details about the superhero movies you love, Deadpool, Logan, and everything Marvel and DC related. And if you really want to help this channel, you can contribute any small amount to us on Patreon. Big thanks to all of our current donors, especially Wilhelmina Ebbeson. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.